Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to today's BEEI Phase 5 training session around how to access your training and how to register on Teacher Connect for the training. It is lovely to have so many of you here on the call. And just a note that if you have friends or colleagues who aren't on the call, they will be able to watch it through YouTube. So please feel free just to let them know they can still join. The link will direct them automatically to the YouTube page. And it is so nice to have so many of you here. Another thing to look at is that this session is being broadcast, as I said, on YouTube. I see a number of you have your hands up. That is great. It's so wonderful to have so many of you here with us today. You won't be able to put your mic on and you won't be able to put your camera on. So if you have a question, at the bottom of your screen, you'll see something that says Q&A. So if you see that box that says Q&A, please type your question in there. That is where we'll be able to answer your questions. We have people on the YouTube page as well as in the call who will be answering your questions. So please pop them in there. We are looking forward to speaking to you today. We want to hear all the questions that you have, and we want to see how we can help you. So just so that you know, and I'm sure you are all aware of this, in Phase 5, all assistants need to complete the training by the end of July. So that leaves us with 1, 2, 3 and a bit weeks left for everybody to finish the training that you need to do for Phase 5. You'll also be asked to do every month a survey. So there's a survey that's going to come out once a month from Teacher Connect. So it'll either be an SMS or it'll be a WhatsApp that'll come to you. So if you have registered, you will get a message that says, please fill in your survey. The survey will ask you a couple of things. It's going to ask you questions around, have you been paid? Was your contract signed? Did you do the training? It's also going to ask you things about how are you feeling about the program? Has it been helpful for you? What do you think it's been helpful with? So there are a few questions in there, and we are very excited to hear from you. So please, when you get that link to the survey in the next few weeks, please click on it and give us your feedback there. But outside of the training that needs to be done by the end of July, so that's the end of day 31st of July, all the training needs to be completed. And outside of the survey that needs to be done every month between now and November, you'll also be invited to webinars every 2 months. These webinars, and if you're interested, you can go onto our YouTube page and you can have a look at past webinars. But they really are amazing opportunities to hear from assistants like yourselves who have been through the program previously. We've had speakers from all kinds of walks of life, some who are MDs of their own companies, some who've started their own small enterprises, and they are really important and interesting opportunities for you to start thinking about how to use this work experience that you'll have through Phase 5 and opportunities for you moving forward. So if this is just the first step in your working journey or one of the first steps in your working journey, then what are steps that you could potentially take after that? Also with the Teacher Connect WhatsApp bot, you'll see there's a lot of content there that's outside of training. And we'll have a look at that just now as well. There are things like information around CV building, around interview prep, around work readiness, around conflict resolution. There's so much information available for you and training and resources. It really is a good idea to go and explore a little in the WhatsApp group, in the WhatsApp bot, have a look at all the various options that you can dive into and find information that's relevant and important for you. Some of that information is under a category called exit. So exit opportunities. So when we're talking about exit or exit opportunities, what we mean by that is what are things that you might want to have access to as you leave the program towards the end of November. So things like the letter of participation. So at the end of November, you'll be able to download a letter that says, yes, you were part of the BEEI Phase 5 program. There are also links there around funding, around bursaries, around entrepreneurship. There's a whole lot of information in that exit category, and I'll show you just now where to access it. That is updated on a regular basis. So please keep coming back. Please keep looking at exit and see what you might need or what might be helpful for you as you take this work experience and as you move forward in your working career. There's also FAQs. So those are answers to questions that assistants just like yourselves have been asking since phase 1 all the way through now to phase 5. So there are a lot of questions that you might have that have already been answered, and that's a good place for you to start. So if you're stuck or if you have a question, go to the FAQs first, have a read through, and if you still can't find the answer to your question, then we are very happy to answer it. So just like the hands are popping up today, we are very happy to answer your questions as well. Please put them in the Q&A box. We want to hear from you. We want to be able to respond to your questions. And then there's something called Share Your Story. So some of you have already sent us the most amazing stories, and we are very excited to read them. But please go and look for this. Send us a voice note or a video or write us some text and upload that. And tell us about your day-to-day. Tell us about what your life is like as part of BEI in phase 5. So today what we're going to do is look at how you can register. We're going to look at how do you change your assistant type. We're going to look at how do you reset your profile, what training is required for your assistant type, how to find your certificate, and how to change your certificate details. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. There are 11 more sessions like this one that you can take advantage of to understand how to register and how to access the content. These sessions are every Tuesday, every Wednesday, and every Thursday until the end of July. So on Tuesday, it's at 2 o'clock. On Wednesday, it's at 11 a.m. and Thursday, it's at 2 o'clock. You don't have to attend all of the sessions. You can attend as many sessions as you want, but you don't have to attend every one. It's up to you in terms of how clear are you around registering and doing your training. And if you get stuck or if there's something that you need help with that we aren't answering today, maybe you need a little bit more help that we can give you on this call, please send us an email. Our email address is here at the bottom. So it's BEEI@ecubed-DBE.org. I know that's a mouthful, but BEEI@ecubed-DBE.org. If you want the links for the other training sessions, or if you have any questions that aren't in the FAQs and you can't find in the orientation training, please just drop us an email. We would be very glad to be able to help you. So as I said, you don't have to attend every webinar. You can attend as many times as you need to help you and to have your questions answered. But if you're confident and you think you know how to register and you know how to do your training, you don't have to attend the webinars. This webinar is just here to help you. So there is also a no attendance certificate that is needed for this webinar. So you do not have to have an attendance certificate for this webinar. At the end of the webinar, there is a set of questions that will be asked. And for anybody who's on the YouTube channel, we will post the link to that in the chat. So if you're on the YouTube channel, don't worry, you will also get it. Just look out for the link. It'll be posted there and you can answer the questions there. But there is no attendance register that's needed for this webinar. So again today, just a little bit of a reminder about what we're going to be doing. We're going to look at how to register. We're going to look at how to change your assistant type, how to reset your profile, what training you need to do according to what kind of assistant you are, where to find your certificate, and how to change your certificate details. So these are all the things that we're going to do. Please, if you have a pen, if you have a notebook, write it down as we go through. You can take notes around each of the steps that we are taking, or if you can, get somebody else to take it. If you're sitting in groups, that would be really helpful so that you can reference it later. So a reminder that your camera and your microphone will be off for this call. If you want to ask a question, please type your question out in the Q&A box. So I mentioned earlier at the bottom of your screen, you'll see something that says Q&A. Please write your question in that Q&A box and we will respond to you. Either we'll respond to you during the call or towards the end of it, I will pause and then I'll answer some of the other questions. But we're very keen to hear from you. So any questions, please put them into the Q&A box. So I did say to you that we're going to talk about how to register today, how to access your training, and it all starts with the word hi. So the same way that I started this call today by saying hi, and let me introduce myself. My name is Christy Swift, and it is lovely to chat to you again today. Please take the number that you got on the screen there. That's 060 060 3333. That is the number for WhatsApp for Teacher Connect. So you can see this word here, Teacher Connect. You can save this number 060 060 3333 and save it in your contacts as Teacher Connect. Then just open up WhatsApp and you send the word hi. So HI, just send the word hi to us. And then that is how you start your training. If you have a QR code reader, then you can see on your screen, there is a QR code there. You can snap that QR code and then you can access the training that way. And again, if you do get stuck, there is an email address that you can email. It's BEEI@ecubed-DBE.org. So it is there on your screen. Okay, so BEEI@ecubed-DBE.org. But to start the registration, you need to save this number 060 060 3333 to Teacher Connect. Okay. Now we're going to register together. So I'm just going to pause this video for now and we're going to talk through some of these things and then we can go through the video together so we can show. Before you register, there's some things that you're going to need. You need to think about the name and the surname that you want on your certificate. This is very important because when we register, we ask you, what is your name? And then after that, we ask you, what is your surname? So there are two questions. Please don't put your last name and your first name together because then your certificate is going to be wrong. You need to first put in your first name and then you put in your second name afterwards. I will show you the example of this just now when we play the video, but this is very important. The next thing that you're going to So every school has something called an EMIS number. It's like a number that all schools have. It is specific to that school. So every school has an EMIS number. You need to put this EMIS number in when you register so that we can do the right reporting. Because we want to be able to tell your school, these are the assistants who have done the training in your school. If you don't put in your EMIS number, then we can't tell your school that you have done the training. So the EMIS number is very important. And if you aren't sure about the EMIS number, please send us an email. That's BEEI@ecubed-dbe.org. I'll put it on the screen just now again. and so you can see it. Then you need your email address and your ID number, and then you need to opt in. Now let's look at this video together and then you can see what that looks like. So you can see on this video, I'm typing in hi. So this is like your universal access key. You type in the word hi and it says, welcome to Teacher Connect. And it tells you all the things that you can do about Teacher Connect and says, let's tap next to get started. So I've just tapped next. Now this is called a privacy policy. So in South Africa, there is a law called POPIA, and POPIA protects all of your data. So your name and your surname and your ID. It's the law that says how your information needs to be stored and how we need to manage your information. For us to make sure that we comply to POPIA, we need to have a privacy policy. So this gives terms and conditions around how your data is handled and tells you exactly what we're going to do with it. So if you want to, you can click on that link, that privacy policy link, and you can have a look at it. So I'm going to play it again for you. You can just see. So you see I've tapped in the word hi. We'll just go forward a little bit. Okay. So we go next. Now it says, do you want to read the privacy policy? So you can click on this link here and you can see in the video, I've just clicked on the link. There we go. So I've clicked on it. I'm reading through it. I now understand what's going to happen with all my data. I go back into WhatsApp and I say, yes, I accept. If you say no, unfortunately, you won't be able to do your training. If you want to do the training, you have to say yes. So I've just clicked there. Yes. Now it says, tell me about your role. This is also very important. Please, you must choose BEEI assistant. You are not a teacher or a principal or a learner or official. You are a BEEI assistant. So please here choose BEEI assistant. You can see what it looks like when there you go. I've just clicked it. So and then I'm going to press send. Tells me what assistant. Now I'm going to put the first name in. Now you remember I said to you, you need to think about what name you want on your certificate. So this is very important here. If you put in the wrong name will be on your certificate. So now I'm thinking, I don't just want Jane there. I want Jane B because Jane is my middle name. So I'm going to put Jane B there. I didn't put my last name there. Just remember, you first put your first name. Then afterwards, you put your last name. Don't put your last name at the same time. So now I put Smith there because that is my last name. And then it says, now, nice to meet you. Now what we want to do is, this is what we're asking you, please. It says, do you want to receive messages from us? So remember I mentioned this word POPIA. In order for us to make sure that we are handling your data correctly, we want to be able to send you messages about exit opportunities or bursaries or funding or webinars, but we need you to say yes before we can do that. So if you want to receive messages from us, you don't have to. If you don't want to find out anything more about the program, you don't want any messages, you can just say no. But if you want to be kept updated, please say yes. We would love to be able to send you messages around webinars and exit opportunities and anything else that might be important to you. So you can see here I've said yes, message me. Now you're going to choose your assistant role. Now I know some of you have 2 roles. Choose one, and then I will show you how to choose another one just now. So you see how I've put in curriculum assistant. Now I'm going to put in my EMIS number. This is just a test number. This number doesn't exist. You must put your EMIS number in. Now it's going to ask you for your email. It's going to ask you for your email, and then afterwards it's going to ask you for your ID number. We ask for your email and your ID number so that we can verify you against the lists from the province. That's why we ask this information. We don't sell it. We don't use it anywhere else. This WhatsApp bot belongs to the department, so this data belongs to the DBE. It doesn't sit anywhere else. Okay. And that is how you register. Okay. If you have any questions on that, we can look at it again, but it's as simple as sending hi and having this information together. If you are two kinds of assistants, so you remember I said like you might have two roles, or if you have been in a phase previous to phase 5. So maybe you access Teacher Connect one time as a learner, or maybe before you were working as a teacher and now you're an assistant, or maybe you were in phase 3 and now you're in phase 5, you're going to have to reset your profile. So this is a little bit different. So for people who are going for the first time, you just register and say hi. But if you have registered previously, you will need to change your registration. So the way to do that is to type in this word, Teacher Connect Clear. So it's a long word, I know, and it's got lots of C's and lots of N's, but please make sure that there are no spaces between the words. It must be one word, Teacher Connect Clear. And please make sure that the spelling is correct. So check your spelling and make sure that there are no spaces. Then you wait for a response, and then you can type in the word hi. So I'm just going to show you on the screen here what this looks like. So you can see here I'm typing in Teacher Connect, one word, making sure my spelling is right, clear. Then I put that in and I wait. And then it says your profile has been reset. You have to wait for this message before you can carry on. When you get this message, you must type in the word hi. Sometimes if you type in Teacher Connect Clear and you wait and nothing happens, sometimes the system needs a little bit of time to reset. So if that happens to you, wait half an hour. It can't be less than 30 minutes. It can be more than 30 minutes, but it can't be less than 30 minutes. So see here, it said 0909. If nothing came through, I must wait until it says 0939 and then type it in again and try. But this will reset your profile so you can register again. If you are, so this is now another scenario. So we've looked at how to register. We've looked at if you need to reset your profile, if you've been an assistant before, or you've registered as a learner, or maybe sometimes you made a mistake and you want to do it again. We've looked at how to reset your profile. Now we're going to look at another thing. This is how to change your role. So sometimes you might have thought originally you were a care and support agent, but actually now you realize that you're a curriculum assistant. Or maybe you have two roles. Some assistants have two roles. When you register the first time, you choose one. Then you do all of your training. Then you need to go back and you need to change your role so you can get the rest of the training. This is how to change your role. But remember, if you get stuck, you can always email us. I know some of you on the call will know what the email address is. So if you have that email address, you're welcome to help your friends, especially on the YouTube page. But if you need to change your role, this is what you do. So you would type in the word hi. You would get to this screen. Oh, sorry, guys. You would get to this screen. Push play again. This screen here that says hi. Now you remember I said my name was Jane B. So it says hi, Jane B. Welcome. Choose one of the options from the list below. So I'm going to tap this list. You can see what that looks like. Then I said change my role. Now I'm going to choose a different role. So now I'm choosing a handy person. Let's just go back and let's have a look and see what that looks like again. So it says hi. Welcome. Tap the list below to have a look. Here's this whole list. So if you ever get stuck with other things, and you're not sure, like, where do I get my training? It's here. How do I find out about work readiness? It's here. Where do I find the FAQs or the surveys or information about the webinars? Remember, I spoke to you originally about sharing your story, so adding your voice notes or pictures or anything. This is where you do it. Here, see the second one from the bottom, change my role. That's what you do. Or maybe you're looking for your certificates. We'll look at certificates just now. You can click on my certificates. But for now, if you want to change your role, here it is. It's in the menu. Click change my role. So you click there. And now you can choose your assistant again. So now you choose the type of assistant that you are. Now it says I'm a handy person. Now I will be able to access the handy person training. Okay. So it's important, if you need to change your role, that is how you do it. If maybe you were confused, you made a mistake, you need to change your role, or maybe you have two roles, you choose one, you do the training for that one, then you go back and you do the other one. Okay. The way, as I said previously, to access it is through Teacher Connect. You can snap this QR code, or you send the word hi to 060 060 3333. That is how you access the training. And just a reminder, I do see there are some hands raised. Your camera and mic are going to be off. So if you want to ask a question, please put it in the Q&A box and we'll be able to answer it. So once you have registered and you've shared your details and your assistant types, then you're going to see the training. So you can see here on the video, now I'm going to click training. And we're going to go through what this looks like. Okay, so it says training. Am I ready to start? Yes, let's start. Then you click ready to start. So because I registered as a curriculum assistant, it gives me the list of training that I need to do. So if you think to yourself, what training do I need to do? Just go and register on the bot, choose the type that you are, and you will see that there is a list there that tells you this is the training that you need to do. It's there on the WhatsApp bot for you. Okay, so I'm going to start now with orientation training. Everybody in phase 5 must do orientation training. So everybody has to do the orientation training. Gives you a welcome. It says congratulations on being selected. And I also just want to say congratulations to everybody here for being selected in phase 5. What an amazing accomplishment. And I hope you're all incredibly proud of yourselves. So this tells you, what is the BEI? It gives you information about what the BEI is, about why it matters. So here it says, I'm just going to go back there and you can have a look. Why does the program matter? So the BEI is a stepping stone. It's for good work experience. So when you say, what can I do with the training that I'm getting now? What can I do with this experience that I'm getting now? This work experience is very important for you to put on your CV. You can also use it to build some skills, and we'll talk about what those skills are. And then, of course, you are making the most amazing impact in our classrooms. So you are able to impact all the South African youth just by being part of this program. Let's press play again. So now we're going to go next. And this is how you go through your training. You read through it, you go next. What I'm going to ask you is, before you go through the training, please get a notebook and write down anything that you think is important, any questions that you have, any ideas that you have. If you don't want to write it down, maybe you want to draw a picture or make a mind map. But use this opportunity to make notes, of chat to your teacher mentor about it. But as you go through the training, make a note of these things that come up. Okay, so let's look. Now we're going to start lesson 1. So I'm going to click lesson 1. In orientation, there are 5 lessons. So there are 5 lessons that you need to do in orientation. This one is lesson 1, and we're just going to go through lesson 1 together so you can see what it looks like. It says in lesson 1, you'll understand your job profile, your roles and responsibilities, and the skills and qualities needed. So I'm going to click next once I've read through that. There are 2 main categories of assistance. There's education assistance, and there's a list there of all the different types of education assistance. And then there are general assistants, and then there's a list of the general assistants. So if you aren't sure, go to the orientation training and look through what kind of assistant you are. Now, this is something interesting that I'm going to try and pause on again without going through the slides. There we go. If you are a reading champion, as example, and you're not sure about what you're doing, if you're thinking, what am I going to do when I go there? This shows you what it is that you are required to do. So a reading champion needs to support teachers with reading activities. You need to set up reading clubs and corners. You need to organize storytelling and reading festivals under your teacher mentors. If you are an ECADer, you need to support teachers and learners with the ICT tools. You need to be responsible and help upload educational content, manage devices, help with coding and robotics and online learning. So this is what you need to do as an ECADer. Then if you want to see next, you click next. Let's find out what the other assistants need to do. Then it tells you what a curriculum assistant does. Gives a whole list of what a curriculum assistant must do. Tells you what a care and support assistant must do. So this is what the care and support assistant is responsible for. This doesn't just help you in your role, but it helps you understand what the other assistants are doing as well. So then also you can think about it when you are going to do your CV and they say, what did you learn? What were you responsible for? In your CV, you can say, as a workshop assistant, this is an example, I set up the tools and equipment for the experiments. I managed safety of the laboratory. These are things that you can write down in your CV. So it has 2 purposes. The one is to help you understand what do you need to do in your role, what other people need to do, but then also it helps you understand what you can put down on your CV when you're coming out of this role at the end of November and you're looking at what your next job might be. The other thing is about soft skills. So we talk a lot about soft skills. You might have heard this before. And things that you will develop during the program is good communication. So you'll be able to talk to teachers, learners, and be confident in that. Not all of us are born confident. Sometimes some of us need to practice. We need to have opportunities to just practice talking to people, practice understanding how it's appropriate to speak to people. And this is a good opportunity for you to do that. We also know that every day will change. Not many things are the same every day. So this will give you the opportunity to be flexible. So how to learn how to adapt and change as the situation changes. You'll also learn how to be reliable. So this is what the schools will also be looking for. Are you a reliable person? Are you on time? Do you take your tasks seriously? If somebody asks you to do something, do you say yes, sure, no problem? Do you try and find a way to do it? Or do you say, no, that's not what I'm here for. That's not my job. So the schools and the teachers will be looking for these things. Are you good at communication? Are you able to adapt? Are you reliable? Can you be creative in your ideas and your thinking? Are you a good teamwork? Do you get good at teamwork? Do you get along well with teachers and learners and staff? Not everybody is going to get along with everybody, but we know generally, is this something that you can practice whilst you are there in this work experience? And all of these things are very important for future employers. So you can write these down on your CVs as well. I learned how to problem solve. I am reliable. I'm good at teamwork. These are things that you can start to think about practicing in the next 6 months, so that you can write them on your CV as things that you can do. So we're just going to click next in this orientation. So let's go and click next. Let's move on in this lesson. Remember, there are 5 lessons in the orientation program. So this is lesson 1 that we're going to go through together. This gives you what are the specific skills that you need for your job. So curriculum assistants need to have strong academic background. Care and support need to have a background in social work or psychology. Handy persons need to be skilled in repairs and maintenance, etc. So this gives you an idea of not only what your skills are, but what other people's skills are. At the end of every lesson, there is a quiz. So you will be asked a question at the end of every lesson that's based on the content that you've just gone through. So go through it carefully, write it down, have a think about it. Now, I'm going to pause here again. At the end of every lesson, there is a 1-minute break. So it is exactly 1 minute. It is 60 seconds. Use that break to write down the questions that you had. So you remember we said start with a notebook, make sure that you can write down the any thoughts that you have, any questions that you have. And whilst you're doing that, just leave the WhatsApp bot. Don't type in anything, just leave it. When 60 seconds is over, and I'll push play here so that you can see when the 60 seconds is over. When the 60 seconds is over, we will send you a message that tells you that it's time to start again. So you just leave it for 60 seconds. In the background, what the system is doing is the system is saving your progress. So that if something happens, like the phone rings, or you need to go and message somebody, or something happens, you have to now catch the taxi home. When you come back, it will remember where you were. So you see on the screen, it's just changed. It says lesson 2. You don't type in anything, you just wait. Then the next message will come and then you can start again. And that is how you do your training. So the training that is available for, as of today, is orientation, care and support, curriculum, handy persons, and reading champions. The training that is coming, and we will send you a message when it is ready. So you remember at the beginning I said, please say yes, I can message you. When we are ready with the training, sport and enrichment, workshop assistant, laboratory assistant, and e-cater, when that is ready, we will send you a message and you can then go and do that training. But for now, orientation, care and support, curriculum, handy persons, reading champions, that is available and everybody must do orientation. So go and have a look at that. So this is a question that we get asked all the time. What training must I do? So I'm going to run through this. If you are a curriculum assistant, you need to do orientation training. You need to do the digital literacy and NSSF, so that's KITSO and NSSF. And then there are 3 curriculum trainings that you must do. You must do all the 3. So you need to do foundation phase, intermediate and senior, and FET. Even if you are just an FET, you have to do all 3. And then you also have to do introduction to project-based learning. So curriculum assistants, you've got the most training that you need to do, and you need to complete all of these. Reading champions, you need to do the orientation, you need to do digital literacy, which is KITSO, you need to do NSSF, and you need to do the reading champions training. Care and support, orientation, as I said, everybody has to do orientation. You need to do digital literacy, that's KITSO, NSSF, and then the care and support training. For handy persons, you also need to do orientation. You also have to do KITSO and NSSF, and then the handy persons training. E-caders, you need to do orientation, you need to do digital literacy and NSSF. There is no other training for E-caders right now. Laboratory assistants, you need to do orientation, KITSO, NSSF, and then your training is coming soon. So wait for it. We're going to send you a message soon that says that your training is available, and then you'll be able to do that one. The same as workshop assistants. orientation, digital literacy, online safety, NSSF, and the laboratory and workshop assistant training is coming soon. So we will send you a message when it is ready. When we get it, we will put it onto the WhatsApp bot, and then we will send you a message that says, now click here, this is how you can access that training. But this is the training that you need to do. The same with sports and enrichment. So sports and enrichment should come next week. So please be aware, we will send you a message that says you need to do that training. But for now, it's orientation, digital literacy, that's KITSO and NSSF, and then you will do the sports and enrichment training. So all training needs to be completed by the end of July. And when the new courses are available, we'll send you it'll either be an SMS or it'll be a WhatsApp that says Teacher Connect. And then you know that you can go and you can click on that. You go back to the spot and you say hi, like we did in the beginning, and then you'll be able to access your training. So I'm going to go through certificates. This is another question that we get asked all the time. The certificate is issued automatically. Once the training has been completed, then you get your certificate. When the certificate is shared with you, please, you need to save it. Save it on your phone or send it somewhere where it can be saved. You need to keep it very safe. So I'm going to play this little video again for you so you can see where you can access it. If you've done your training and you want to go back, again, you say hi, then you tap on that list. So this list we looked at earlier, it's got everything there: training, work ready, FAQs, surveys, webinars, share your story, change my role. So we spoke about that a lot. And then right down here at the bottom, see it says my certificates. Any certificate that you have done will be in this spot. So there at the bottom, that's where you find it. So you go hi, and then it says see the menu, click the menu, then you go into my certificate. So let's have a look. You click my certificates, you see what does that look like. It's going to ask you the first time you're there, it's going to say to you, is this the right person? Do I have the name right? Remember I said to you at the beginning, it's very important that when you register with the right name. Don't put your ID in, don't put in an emoji. We love you, but you don't have to put hearts in there. Just put your name and your surname. If you want two names, remember there was one example I showed you, Jane B. So this person said Janet. You could have said Jane B. And then afterwards you put your surname in. Okay, so it says, is this the right name? You only have one chance for this, so please be very careful. So Janet here said, yes, that's her. So it says, cool, we've got you. Wait a moment. Woo, and there is your certificate, Janet. So it's there on your phone. Oh, then Janet's done two certificates. Okay, so see, these are all the certificates that Janet has. It's there in my certificates. Now, let's just say you made a mistake. Let's say you put the wrong name in. Maybe you put in hello instead of your surname, or hello instead of your first name. You don't want your certificate to say hello. So you go to the same place. You go to my certificate. Then it says, is this your name? No, I need to edit it. Now you have another chance. This is the only chance that you have to change it. So please be very careful. You put in Janet, then you put in your right surname, and then we will generate your certificate. So please don't make a mistake the second time. If you make a mistake the second time, you're going to be stuck. Okay, so that is how you change your certificate. Then again, if you want to, if you need that number again to register, it's 060 060 3333, or you can snap the QR code, or you can always email us. See in this little yellow circle at the bottom, here is the email address. You're welcome to send us an email, and then we can help you with that. Now, what I'm going to do is I want to just see some of the questions here. We've got about 15 minutes left, and I'm going to answer some questions. So, Catherine, you've said, what is the delay of your salary? You can't attend the training if you don't have data. So, Catherine, that has been addressed in a number of releases. The provinces have said that they are going through a verification process and that people will get paid. If you have a question, please feel free. You're welcome to email us. Otherwise, you can speak to your principal directly and they can help you with that. So I hope that helps, Catherine. Then Tabiso, you have said here, pardon me if I'm off topic, but my question is when can I get paid? So Tabiso, I've also just answered that question. Again, the provinces have said that they are looking at the processing and verification. So if you haven't been paid yet, it should happen. Provinces are working on it. Please feel free to drop us an email if you want more information. If we have it, we can send it to you. Otherwise, you can speak to your principal. So Charlize, you have said that is there a possibility that the program will be extended? So the program will end on the 30th of November this year. There is no indication of any extension right now. It will end on the 30th of November. Amber, you've asked us, can we go back to the handy person's points? So yeah, absolutely. Let's go back to the handy person's points. Let's go back there. So that's a change certificate. Let's see. Laboratory, workshop, EK to handy persons. I hope that this helps you, Amber. I'm just going to play the video so you can have a look at that whilst we are going through it. Norma Clabiso, you said you're a reading champion, but you're also interested in curriculum. How do you do that? So I would suggest you go and you will answer your, you would change your role. So that's what we looked at earlier about changing a role. Then there is a KS Nkwango. Is the certificate, is it right to write both names? Are we supposed to use first name and surname? So KS, you can write your first two names where it says first name. So in the example, you can see I said Jane B is the first one, and then the surname is separate, as long as you don't put the surname at the same time as your first name. So you must put in the name that you want to do. Liko, you've asked about what training you need to do as a reading champions. If you go into the orientation, you will be able to see the training that you need to do. Zamabita, you've asked what training do you need to do as an ECADER? So I think we've gone through that here, but also if you go into the bot and you start your training, it will give you the list of what you need to do. Esther, you said, if you're done with the certificate, do you need to attend the meeting? No, you don't. If you have a question, you can attend and we will answer your question. If you don't, then absolutely fine. You do not need to come. Michle, you've said, can you please tell me again how to reset your profile? Yes, let's go through that again. How to reset the profile. So I'm just going to go through. All right, here. How to reset your profile. Okay. So if you've been an assistant before, or if you registered something incorrectly, you need to type in this Teacher Connect Clear, like I'm doing here on the screen. Just make sure that there are no spaces. Okay, so no spaces, then you would type that in. Then you wait for it to say your profile has been reset, and then you type in hi. Okay, so it's Teacher Connect Clear, but make it one word. And that is how you reset your profile. So Deboho, you said, can you show me how do I go about using WhatsApp to get a certificate, and can I do it any time of the day? So yes, you can do it any time of the day. It is available whenever you want to. To access it, you need to type in the word hi to this number. So that's 060 060 3333. And that's how you start your training. Okay. Fazeka, I think we've answered your question about reading champions. Go and look in the orientation, and then you can see what training you need to do. Lula Misisia, it depends on what type of EA you are, but again, if you go into the training and you register, it'll tell you exactly what you need to do. Sky, you've said, is it necessary for general assistants to join these meetings? If you've done your training, then you don't have to. But all assistants, general assistants and EAs must do the training. So if you've done the training, don't come. If you haven't done the training and you have a question, yes, you must come. There's a question here from Galaxy about certificates. I think we've answered that. There's a question here about the NSSF certificate. You do have to do the training again, unfortunately. So yes, you must go in and you must do that training again. Even if you've done it in 2023, you have to do it again. And you have to change your information. So what I would suggest is send us an email at this one email address here that's in this yellow circle. I don't have your name or any of your details here, but send us this in email in this yellow circle here. There's our email address, and then we can help you. Siposetu, I've answered that question, how you can find out how many certificates you need to have. Yolisa, what I would suggest is that you send us an email as well, and I will give you the link for the NSSF certificate. Mariska, you've said, is the digital training necessary? I'm not sure what digital training you mean. So this training that we've gone through here, absolutely it's necessary. You have to do all the training on WhatsApp by the end of July. If you're talking about these webinars, this is up to you. If you need help, we are here. If you don't need help, you don't have to come to the webinars. Refilo, you've asked if it's possible to download the certificates if you've lost your phone that you saved them on. Refilo, I think what you do is send me an email as well, and then let's see if we can help you specifically about this. Tandiwe, you've said the certificates are the same as last week. I'm not super sure I understand what your question is. The certificates will be the same. So you just do the training once. You don't have to do the training again. And Honorabila, you've said Teacher Connect is directing you somewhere else. How do you start over? So go back to Teacher Connect Clear. I would suggest if you are stuck, this is probably what you need to do. I'm not sure what you registered last time, but maybe this, you see, I've just changed the screen there. You can look at it again. Odwa, you've said, what are your duties as a sports and enrichment assistant? Odwa, that is a great question. And go to the orientation training, and then you will see what your duties are. So the orientation training will tell you. When it says roles and responsibilities, that's what it means. So when you're thinking about your duties, that's the roles and responsibilities. There's a question here about how you get allocated. So your principal will allocate you. So if you don't know what kind of assistant you are yet, go to your principal. They will be able to help you. There's a question here from a Samsung phone. Can you start the training anytime? Yes, you can start the training anytime. It's available all day, all night. And the training is for both EA and GSA. So it's for all of the assistants. Every assistant, if you're an EA or a GSA, you have to do it. Sinatemba, you said, is the certificate recognized if you want to pursue a career in teaching, especially at a special school? Sinatemba, that is an amazing question. If you want to be a teacher, you must go and study teaching. If you go to the exit opportunities, you will see that there are a number of bursary opportunities available for people who want to study teaching. So go and have a look there. Go look for Funzula Shaka and go and apply to be a teacher if that is what your passion is. Matima, you've said you're sorry you came in late. So Matima, it looks like you need to reset your profile. I think you've registered as something else. And don't worry, Matima, there are many other opportunities like this to go and attend one of these webinars. Maybe you want to join us tomorrow or Thursday and you can jump in. Yanela, please send me an email. So send me an email to that BEEI, and then I can help you with the payment question. There's a question here on Samsung about your second certificate. So it is in training. If you want to go and do your all certificates, so all the training that you need to do, go to the menu, choose training. KG, it says, can you watch this lesson again because your area has connection problems? So KG, every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we will be having this call. So please come and join us. You're welcome to join one of the other calls. Then there's a question here from Amkelwa. Which option do I choose if I'm a general teacher assistant? So Amkelwa, under general assistant, you can either be sports and enrichment or you can be handy persons. So you need to choose one of those two. If you aren't sure, you must ask your principal what kind of assistant you are. Anna Lucille, I think I've answered that question about how you find out what certificates you need. Go and look at the training. It'll tell you there. That is where you will see what are the training and what are the certificates you need. Then Zola says, what if you did not do all the other trainings? So Zola, go to training and see what is required for your assistant type. Okay. So Samsung, you've said here, where is the exit opportunity? Where's the exit option? So the exit option is in the menu. So if you go there, you'll be able to see it. Seko, you said, how do you change your role? So I'm just going to share the screen with you here. You can see here, it says tap menu. There you go. Okay. So this is how you change your role. You click there, and that's where you can see it. So Sepalang, you've got a question about why haven't the assistants started working? I think Sepalang, please go and speak to your principal. They will be able to give you a little bit more information around that. Please, you're welcome to go and send us an email, but otherwise speak to them. Nokolo, you said, is the NSSF certificate different from Keto? Yes, 2 different certificates. They're 2 different kinds. Barry, you've said you got 2 names. How do you write them whilst registering? I think we might have 1 minute left. So just have a quick look on the screen. You'll be able to see how you registered just now with 2 names. I'm going to scroll. See there, it says Jane. Then I put B in, and then I go enter. And then it asks me for my last name. So Barry, that is how you do it if you want 2 first names in there. Nomfundo, I've answered that question before. You know the answer to that. Go into the training and then you'll be able to see how many certificates the curriculum assistants have. What's his sit? Where's his name? Sorry. Sicho Sakola. Should I do NSSF? Yes, you must do NSSF as well, please. So can you show the screen of how to access those bursaries? Can I ask you, please send us an email now. It is 3 o'clock and we're going to close the call now. But send us an email and then I can show you how to access the bursaries. Angantani, is it true that if you don't attend, you'll be disqualified? No, that is not true. That is not true at all. Yandiswe, we've been through resetting the profile, but please feel free to just pop us an email. I'm happy to send that to you directly. Taboho, you also said, how do you improvise? I'm not super sure. Maybe send me an email. You've got the emails in that yellow circles on the screen and I can help you directly. There are questions, Sepalang, Ruche, and then there's Samsung, another Samsung question around that. I think if you still have questions, we are now out of time, so feel free to join us tomorrow or at any of the other webinars. Otherwise, drop us an email. We're happy to help you. But with that, I'm going to close the webinar today and just say thank you so much. It's been lovely to speak to you all today again, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care, everyone. Bye.